Hey there, how's it going guys? In this video we're gonna use CSS animations to make some cool hover effects, mainly on images. So we're gonna be dealing with transform properties that allow us to translate, rotate, or scale elements. So there is a lot to cover in today's video. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be doing. It's a single page that has three main sections, and each one has some kind of vibrant hover effect. You can see how the images slide in different directions and how they get bigger in this example in the first section. And this is by using the scale attribute for the transform property. Okay, and the same thing with this last section, which has some kind of broken layout. Okay, hope you enjoy it, and without further ado, let's go ahead and start making it. Alright, before we get started, I want to mention that we just need two files in a folder. So the files are going to be an index.html and a style.css, and the image folder is going to have the images that I brought from a great website called Ondraw. They've got tons of illustrations and stuff like that, and it's free, by the way. It's a great resource for designers and developers. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is this h2 tag. I haven't set the HTML. So I'm gonna start with this emmet boilerplate shortcut. You hit exclamation mark and tab, and it gives you this boilerplate. So I'm gonna call it, because I call it CSS animations, and we're gonna need to link the CSS, so style.css. All right, I think we should give it a little bit bigger font. Okay, that's better. Okay, just like I said, I'm gonna start with this h2 tag. So I'm gonna say h2, I'll say cool hover effect. Then we need a container where we can push some images. So I'm gonna say div container, and then I'm gonna bring the images. So for the first one, we're gonna have, okay, so I'll just say /img/, okay, and I'm gonna copy and paste this twice. Okay, so the first one, I think it's called date.png, and the second read.png, and the last one standout. Right, now if we hit save, take a look. Now that this is the final product right here. There we go. No big deal, just regular images with their regular sizes. And I should mention that I'm using a package called Atom Live Server, which enables live reload, and it's really handy. It can save tons of time when saving and reload, stuff like that. Okay, that's it for the first section. Let's get into the second one. So for that, I'm gonna say h1 and a little bit more. Right, now the second one is basically quite similar to the previous, except for some styles that we're gonna take on. We're gonna be playing with in CSS. So I'm gonna say div, let's have box, and it's gonna have 4 images. Okay, and just like I said, now this one is gonna have 4 images. Okay, first one would be notes.png, and then sign in.png, should copy now, and analytics. And then quiz board. Right. So the last one is gonna be a 2-column section. So we're gonna have some text on the left combined with some photos on the right side, and it should look like this one. We're gonna have some kind of, just like I said, a kind of broken layout, which is a trend for some people. Okay, so I'm gonna write a section now, and then this section, now this one will include 2 divs. The first one will be reserved for the text, so I'm just gonna say div, excuse me, massive text, and I'm gonna say now h2, and can you it's just some fancy words to fill in the things, and that's it. It's not a big deal. The first p tag will have a class of first, because we're gonna need that to help us achieve part of the broken layout, because as I mentioned, this is gonna be using the pseudo elements before or after. So let's just hit it, p class of first, and I'm gonna have like, lorem 20 words. Yeah, there we go. And the second p doesn't have anything special, just lorem 20, I guess. It should have the same, 20. Anyways, now if we save, go to my real file. Okay, a lot of images. Okay, that's it. So that's pretty much it, I think. Alright, so the second div, I'm gonna call it triangle, because the stuff we will do are called triangle effect, I believe. Have the triangle effect. So whatever you want to call it, I'm just gonna say this thing, okay? So div, let's have triangle. Anyways, and of course we should bring the images, img source. Now I'm gonna say /img and then .png. Save a little bit more of time. I'm gonna have 3 images, and the first one should have this one. Okay, first one is actually date. Second, read again. Yes, and then stand out. Right, that's it for the HTML. Now we're gonna need to tweak it as much as we can with CSS. So let's save before and take a look. And what's new? Nothing special. Alright, that's it. Okay. So let's hit the CSS. Okay, we'll start with the body, and I'm gonna say body. I'm gonna set the font to 18 pixel and Helvetica. It doesn't have any margin nor padding, and we're gonna center align everything. So say text align center, and we're gonna get rid of the horizontal scroll bar by setting overflow X to hidden. Now if we save and take a look, there we go, the horizontal scroll bar is now hidden. Now we're gonna style the container and the box simultaneously. So I'm just gonna say container, class of container, and then the box. And each one will have a width of 80% and a height of 350 pixel. It's gonna have a margin top 3M, no overflow hidden, just like we did with the body. Cursor should be pointer. Okay, and if we save, and if we take a look at the page, you can notice that we just have one single image displayed. Then we'll take the containers images, and what I'm going to say container img, and we're going to set the position to absolute, width 300 pixel, and 300 pixel, and then the height should be a 200 pixel, and we're going to have a transition because we're going to have the hover effect and stuff like that, so we're going to say ease in out. Now if we save, you can notice that we just have one single image, but in fact all of them are sticked in the same place, and we can't see all of them because we set the position to absolute. So the second image is being placed over the first one, and the third one is over the second one, and so on and so forth for bigger numbers. So the one that shows in here is the standout, which is the third image. Right? Now we're going to start with the containers childs, which are the images. Obviously, to begin, I'll take every image tag and its number. So if you want to get the first image, we need to say, I'm gonna write something called, nth child and stuff like that. So if you want to get the first child, I'm gonna say container img, excuse me, nth child, and which has then the index, I think, of 1, which is not like array. That doesn't start from 0, otherwise it doesn't work. This way we can leave the HTML file as clean as possible. So just like you see in here in the first section, we haven't set any class, any ID, any kind of anything of that kind of stuff. So we just have a clean HTML. So the child number 1 is actually the one with the date.png name according to the HTML. So the first thing I'm going to do is to slide or move the image a little bit to the right and then to the bottom, just like you see in here. Okay, this is the first image, I guess. Yeah, that's the first one. So just like I said, I'm gonna move it a little bit to the right and a little bit more to the bottom, and then we're gonna have something else. So I'm gonna say transform and say translate, and I'm gonna say, we can say translate X, Y, Z, or if we have more than one axis, we can just set that translate, and then we open the parentheses and set 100 pixel for the x-axis, and then 50 pixel for the y-axis. Now if we hit save and take a look at this one, there we go. You can see that it slides to the right and a little bit to the bottom. So that's what we did in here. Now, okay, now I want to rotate it a bit more. So I'm going to choose the z-axis. So I can either say rotate z or simply say rotate. Okay. And by the way, the z-axis is the axis that goes through your wall or through your face, with all the respect. this is how it works. You got the horizontal x-axis and the vertical one, which is the y-axis, and the one that goes through your face is called the z-axis. Okay, let's get back. I'm gonna set the rotation to minus 30 degree. And if we save, there we go. That's much better. It kind of looks like the example, the result. Now I'm gonna lower the opacity a little bit, so I'm gonna set it to, so say opacity, I'm gonna set it to 0.5. Okay, and if you take a look, there you go. You can see that it doesn't really show as expected. Now we should take the second image. Basically, we're gonna make the opposite styles of the first one. So I'm just gonna say container and then img and child, which is number 2, and set the transform, or I'm just gonna copy and paste these 2 lines, and I'm gonna set the z-axis for minus 100 pixel, and I'm gonna leave the y-axis position just like it is, 50 pixel from the top, and I'm gonna rotate it just like I did with the other one with minus 30 degree, and that's it. There we go. But I think it's not the same. No, it's not. I think we should rotate it a little bit different. It's gonna be 30 degree instead of minus 30 degree. There we go, that's better. Okay, the initial state is looking well. Now let's get into the hover effect. So whenever we hover on the container, we should have we should see a hover effect that makes things just like that. Okay, now the meanwhile it doesn't have anything, so I'm gonna start with the third image, which will have the simplest transform stuff. So I'm gonna say container again, and then on hover img and child, which is the third. Okay, and I'm gonna set transform, and I'm gonna give it a bigger size, so I'm gonna use scale 1.6. okay, hit save. Now if we try to hover, there we go. Now the first couple of images are going to be moved to the right and left sides. So let's get it. So let's go in order and set the second image. Say container, hover, img, and child. Excuse me. 2. So I'm gonna set transform. I'm gonna set translate. It's gonna be minus 400 pixel and 150 pixel. Okay, now if we save, it's not working. There's something wrong in here. No, that's okay. Well, that's cool. Now we just have the hover effect working on the second image, but we should set the opacity. We should reset the opacity to 1. So I'll set opacity to 1. Okay, and I think I want to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna use scale and 1.4. So it's a little bit bigger, but a little bit smaller than the first image. Okay, and that's pretty much it, just like it looks in the result. So I'm gonna go to the last one, which is the and child. Oh man, one. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy and paste this one, and it should have a 400 pixel thing and the same stuff for the rest. Okay, there we go, that's better. All right, we are at the second section, which I called box, I think. Yes, we did. And I should start with the H1 tag. It should have a padding, so whenever we hover on this container, it doesn't overlap with this H1 tag. So I'm gonna say H1, and it's gonna set the margin top to 2M and margin bottom to 3M. Okay, hit save. Okay, that's better. Now we're gonna set the image's positions in sizes. So I'll say box img. I'm gonna set the position to absolute, just like I did with the first section, and it should have a width of 300 pixel and a height of 250 pixel. It's a bit different from the first one, and as well the transition, which we can just calculate. 1 second is in out. Okay, take a look at that. There we go, and the same stuff is happening just like I said, because we have set the position to absolute. Okay, now before we start doing this style, the images styles, I want to say something. If you found the first one clear and easy to maintain, I suggest you pause the video and try to style this one, the second one, the box one, on your own, because this way it gives you more confidence and you can improve your skills faster, at least in my opinion. So let's first start with the third image, just like we did earlier. So I'm gonna say box img nth child, which is the third, and this one is gonna be moved to the top. So I'll say transform and translate y. This is transforming, say a minus 100 pixel. Okay, take a look. There we go. This is the first one, I think, and the second one will get the right. Okay, which is the second. Okay, and I'll set. Again, I'll say transform, translate, and it should have 150 pixel from left and minus 50 pixel from the top. Okay, let's take a look. There we go, that's better. Oh, not this one. Okay, so this is the last one, and it should be now moved to the left. So I'm gonna just copy and paste this one, right, and I'm gonna set this to minus 150 pixel and leave the other thing. Okay, right, that's pretty much it. That's how it should look like. Now I think I have the same thing. Yeah, there we go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get into the hover effect. Now for the hover effect, I'm gonna be kind of ditching the photos. So we're gonna be moving the last couple of images in a vertical way, and we're gonna slide the rest in a horizontal way. So this is how it should look like. So when you hover, it should have this effect, okay? So the fourth image, we'll get to the top. So I'm gonna say box. I'm gonna say box on hover in IMG, okay. So we're gonna transform this one. We translate Y to the top, I think. All right, if we save, there we go. This is the fourth move to the top. Okay. This should be the third, and oh man, I'm gonna set the pretty much the same thing, but this is gonna be the opposite way. So we say 100 pixel. Take a look. Yeah, but it should be on hover. Okay. Cool. Now it's time for the next images. So I'm gonna say box, hover, IMG, nth child to, and I'm gonna set now. We're gonna be working with x-axis now. So say transform. Translate X, and it should have a 300 pixel okay, that's better. Just like I said, 300 pixel from the left, from the center, excuse me, okay. So the other one, box hover, IMG, nth child 1, which is the last one now. Set transform, just the opposite. Set minus 300 pixel. See, it works. There we go. That's better. Okay. That's it for the second section. Now we're gonna be doing the last one. Now for that, this is gonna be a little bit different because we're gonna have a 2-column section, and this one and that one. So I'm gonna set the section position to relative, right? And it should have exactly the same width of 80% and a margin left of 10% to center the whole content. I mean here. Okay, you can see that this one is being centered. Well, that's because we set the margin left to 10%, right? Now both of these sections will have a width of 40%. I'm talking about these divs. I'm talking about the first one and the second one, okay? So, like I said, I'm gonna set the text and triangle width to 40%, and I'm gonna flow them to the left. So it gives us, if we don't do that, And if you take a look, nothing is looking the right way, so we need to float them to the left. Hit save. There we go. Now you can see that pretty much half of the images doesn't appear just because we set the horizontal scroll bar to hidden. I mean the overflow X, and we haven't set the images sizes yet. So I'll say margin bottom now 3M. Okay, we don't really care about this. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna set the text to the left. Say text. Man. Next line. Left. Okay. Now we're gonna be setting the triangle images size. So I'm gonna say triangle IMG. So I'll give them the position of absolute and width of 300 pixel and the same height we did with the first one. It's gonna have a transition of 0.8 second is in out. Right, let's take a look. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm gonna go back to the top and I'm gonna set the triangle. It's gonna have a height of 400 pixel fixed. It's gonna have a margin top of 6M because this is something we're gonna need next up. And I'll set the margin left to 10% so it doesn't overlap with the content in here, with the text in here, because you're gonna see the effect we're gonna doing is just like that. So if we don't set the margin left to 10%, you can notice that if we hover on this one, on the zero, for example, zero box, it's gonna be activated. It's gonna activate the hover effect in here, which is not good. All right, so I'm gonna rotate it by 45 degrees. So I'm gonna say transform and I'll set rotate by 45 degree, and this is gonna be on the z-axis. Now if we take a look, that's it. That's how it should be. And it should have a smooth transition, just like we did in here with the other stuffs. This one, or maybe that one, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna set that, and it should have a cursor pointer. And I think I should give it a width of 25%. Okay, let's take a look. All right. Okay, that's cool. Now I think we should change the initial state of each image. Again, we can't see the first couple of images because we set the position to absolute, which I mentioned a while ago. So I'm gonna get the second item and move it a little bit to the top right corner. So say triangle and IMG and child again, which is the second. It should be transformed. It should be translated to the top right. So I'll say 50 pixel and 50 pixel. Well, this is gonna be minus 50 pixel. I'm kind of losing my mind now. I should take a break. Okay, that's it. It appears like right here on the bottom, and it's just because it has a white background, it doesn't appear in here. So if we inspect it, and come on, slow machine, this is, so if we see the second one, that's it. That's how it looks like. It's just like I said, it's gonna be moved to the top right corner. Now if we take a look at the third one, which is the one that is shown on the top, you can see that it has a little bit of translation to the top right. Okay, and the first child now, I think, the first child, it's gonna be literally the opposite to the second one. So it will take the bottom left corner. This is the result. You can see how it look like. I'm gonna set triangle. Oh man. And I'm gonna set IMG and child. Oh man. I should take a break. I'm out now, okay?